All right. Hey guys. This is my guide right here. So we're gonna be going over race choice, spec and honor talents, macros, priority, what comps you should play, add-ons, and simple mistakes that shamans make at low rating. So the first thing I'm gonna go over is race choice. So I would recommend for your race, you either want to go Dark Iron Dwarf, which I don't have, but Dark Iron Dwarf is probably the best one because it gives you every single time you use like the dwarf ability, it removes your bleeds. Plus, it also gives you int. So that's your number one choice. Your number two choice is going to be normal dwarf. You just get normal stone form with the 10% damage reduction the uh, without the int buff. And then the third best, just for the stun reduction and the Blood Fury racial, I would definitely go with Orc. So those are the three races that you're going to want to play. I wouldn't recommend playing anything else. I would say if you're playing anything else, you're pretty much trolling. But yeah, okay. Now I'll show you guys spec and honor talents. Honor talents pretty much always stay the same, but you could change your spec a little bit. I seem to play pretty much the same spec all the time. This is the spec that I play in threes right here. So what I play for big healing, I actually don't play Stormkeeper or Lightning Lasso. I play with Primal Tide Core. So what it does is pretty much makes it so every four casts of Riptide, it also applies another Riptide to a friendly target. This right here goes very well with deeply rooted elements. So casting Riptide has a 7% chance to activate Ascendance for 6 seconds. These two talents right here go really well together. If you watch my stream, I actually get a lot of Ascendance procs, and Ascendance procs during the game are pretty huge. So this is the spec that I would recommend for solo shuffle and threes, and then I'll also show you the Stormkeeper build. This is the other build that a lot of other shamans are running. It's Stormkeeper, also with pretty decent healing, but you're missing Primal Tide Core, and you're also missing deeply rooted elements. I also put Frost Shock in this build, Focus Insight with Lasso. This build right here is not as much healing, but it's big damage. So if you want to have fun in twos or just have fun doing big damage in threes, I would recommend playing this build right here. Um, PvP talents pretty much always stay the same. Unleash Shield, in my opinion, is like one of the best buttons in the entire game that you have as an Arshem. The best way you want to line it up is you want to have Water Shield and Earth Shield together. If you unleash it, what it does is it roots them. It roots them, and it also puts them in a 50%. It puts them in a pool that makes it so they do 50% less damage and they do 50% less healing while in it. Um, Not only this, you can earth grab someone, say that person gets dispelled, you unleash them, it doesn't DR, and now they're stuck in a root, they can't get dispelled. It's also really good to use, say on a healer go, you wait for a stun. You wait till the end of the stun, and then you drop it on the healer at the end. They do 50% less healing. They have to dispel to get out of it. They have to run out of it. Really, 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 really good. The only one I would ever switch out of these three would be Grounding Totem. So if you're playing against a team where you're not going to need Grounding Totem and you're playing with like a Ret or you're playing with like a caster or something, I would recommend playing Sky Fury Totem. Sky Fury Totem goes really well with a lot of classes, so yeah, that's pretty much all you have to do for talents, I would say. Um, I would recommend this build right here, the one that I play mostly, without the lasso, without Stormkeeper, and just big healing. Um, Call of the Elements too. This is a pretty important ability. So pretty much every 2 minutes, every single time you use your Earthern, you drop your Earthern, you use your Call of the Elements, boom, now you have a second Earthern. So pretty much just makes it so you have more Eartherns. I would also recommend playing Greater Purge against other Arsham teams, against Evokers, against Mistweavers, and I would recommend playing Spam Purge against Ardruids and Disc Priests. But other than that, I would play Greater Purge. Also, another really important thing is use your Prim Wave and always line it up with your NS because Prim Wave goes really well with your NS. Pretty much makes it so it heals like double. I would also recommend to use Healing Wave with your NS just because it heals more. But yeah, all right. Now I'll show you guys my macros. So pretty much all of my macros are just like focus macros. Like I have like Hex Focus, Wind Shear 1, 2, 3, Purge Focus, Flame Shock Focus, Lava Burst Focus. And then another thing that I would recommend to do with a lot of your totems, I have stop casting. So just in case, say I'm casting a heal, I see someone casting a sheep on me or something, I just ground and it stops the cast for me. So I have that set to my grounding totem, I have it set to my spirit link totem. Just because those two buttons, sometimes when you're casting, you're gonna want to definitely cancel to get that off. Um, on top of that, I also have mixed my ancestral guidance with my spirit walker's grace. I actually don't even have ancestral guidance bound. I actually just have it linked in with here. I also recommend with your wall macro to have put a grounding totem with it, just so when you wall, it just instantly drops your grounding totem. Because in a lot of situations, you're gonna want to have your grounding totem down with your wall, I find. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for macros. I don't have anything crazy for macros. So just focus macros, stop casting macros, and then mix in with your wall, your grounding, and then mix in with your aura mastery, your ancestral guidance. Okay, now we'll go for stat priority. So stat priority has pretty much stayed the same. The biggest thing is that now you want to go a little bit higher crit. So I would say the biggest stat prio right now would be verse number 1, mastery number 2, crit number 3, haste number 4. But there's a sweet spot for haste and there's a sweet spot for crit. So I like going at least 10% crit and at least 5% haste. That's like really important in arena. I would say anything less than 5% haste, the globals feel just kind of awkward on shaman. So I would recommend sticking to that 5%. The reason why I say go 10% crit is because of your two piece now. So your two piece, let me find it. So your two piece, while healing stream totem is active, your chance to critically strike is by 10%. So pretty much you drop your healing stream. Now you have 20% crit on your Riptides, on everything. On top of this, when you cast Riptide, you have something called Tidal Waves. So now your healing surge crit is also increased by 30%. So with the extra 10% crit from the tier piece with the healing stream down, your healing surges are actually now going to have 50% crit, which is really 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 OP. So very important to remember this: verse, mass, crit, haste. But 5% haste, 10% crit. Um, okay, now I'm gonna go for the best comps to play. So this could change because I haven't played with a lot of people with tier set. But so far, I would say the strongest comps that I've played on Arsham, um, I would say a top 5 list to play on Sham if you want to climb in rating. I would go with DHDK, DK Hunter, um, RPS, RPS, Shadowplay, and I'm thinking with the changes and with what once tier set comes out, I'm thinking Red Warrior at number 5. Um, pretty important to play top tier specs, I would say. Um, you play top tier comps, you're gonna do a lot better. So I would try to play those 5 comps. Anything with a feral is also really good. I think FPS is really good. I think feral DK could be really good. So yeah, try to play the Feral also. I also think Feral Warlock Arsham could be really good with a UA lock. So make sure to look out for those. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much what what I would play if I was you. So now I'll go to let's go to add-ons. So add-ons are very, 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 very important. You're gonna want big debuffs for arena for sure. Pretty much what this does is it just shows the debuffs on your teammates, and it makes them bigger. It makes the more important ones bigger, so you can easily see them to dispel. Make sure to download this add-on. Details, I would download this too, just so you could check out what your healing breakdown is during games, just to see what you want to be doing. This should what your average healing breakdown should be every game. So if it's not, you're probably doing something wrong. This game right here, my Earthern didn't do much, so but you want your Earthern to be doing a lot often. Here, I'll just show an example. So like Riptide, Earthern, Healing Stream, Healing Surge, Healing Wave, that should all be your top healing. So make sure to pay attention to be using those. Your Earthern is very important. Don't forget to be resetting your Earthern. Another really good add-on is Doom Cooldown Pulse. So what it does is when your cooldown comes off CD, it'll pop up in the middle of your screen. You'll see your cooldown actually pop up in the middle, so you don't have to look at your bars. Really important. Another good add-on is fly plate buffs. Pretty much just shows like if a rep pops wings, you'll be able to see it above their nameplate. Really, really good add-on. Omnibar is probably the most important add-on in the game, honestly, for PvP. So pretty much all it does, I'll show you. You can just put different things in there, and it'll just show when they've used it on cooldown and when the cooldown's coming up. If you don't have this add-on, you're definitely missing out. This add-on is insane. It's a really big deal. Pretty much anyone in Arena is going to be using this add-on, so make sure to use it. Don't put yourself in a bad situation for no reason for not using it. Another good add-on is Omni CD. So what Omni CD does is on your raid frame, you could actually pick what different cooldowns you want to manage on your teammates, so you can see what your teammates have and what your teammates are using. So say if your rogue uses a cloak or something, you'll be able to see that your rogue used a cloak right on the raid frame, and it'll also show when the cloak is back on cooldown. So really, really important. Another important add-on is weak auras. I recommend looking up and trying to get the Mez weak auras, which pretty much just shows like the really important things that happen in the game. It's like Gladiator Losa for your eyes. So yeah, make sure to get weak auras. Search up the Mez weak aura and look up the Sea-Doo weak auras. And they're really, 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 really good. Let's see what else we got. Another add-on I like using, you can also use Gladius, is S Arena. I like S Arena just because it's more of the classic looking one. It just shows DRs, shows when your enemies have trinket, shows their cast bars, everything like that. I would definitely use that. Another one I've been using is Party Pets Fix. So for some reason, Party Pets haven't been working, but if you download this add-on, Party Pets, you'll actually be able to see your teammates' pet. So I definitely would recommend uh, Party Pets. And then, all right, here's the last part of the guide. It's a pretty short guide. I just thought I would keep it short, sweet, and simple. So common mistakes that shamans make is, I would say the biggest thing, honestly, man, is positioning. As a shaman, you're in a lot of risk of getting swapped to and dying. So you always want to be near a pillar. The reason why I say this is because if you're not near a pillar, you get caught out, you're gonna die. You're at a pillar, you can earth bind, you can earth grab, you use your ghost wolf, you just run away, you kite people. You're gonna find that you're gonna be living a lot better. So I would say that is the most common mistake. Another common mistake is not using your trinket with Spirit Link. I would recommend to try to line up your trinket with Spirit Link most times, or use your trinket with wall. One of the two. Like if you're gonna trinket, make sure you're trinket walling, or make sure you're trinket Spirit Linking. You don't want to just trinket, get CC'd out of it, and then boom, you die. Like like not good. So make sure to be doing that. And then number three is very important. make use of your swirling currents. When you do a big healing rotation, you want to drop your healing stream, especially when you have your tier piece. Super, super, super important. And yeah, I mean that's all I really have to say right now for Shaman. Just make sure to gear properly. If you're gonna play, if you want to play good comps right now, I would play with DKs, Demon Hunters, UA Locks, Shadow Priest, Ferals. Play with those classes. But yeah, short little guide for you guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys on stream in the arena. Peace out. Thank you.